So the method that I just taught you in 6.4, again, works for all trinomials where the coefficient is not a 1. If the coefficient is a 1, it's an easy guess and check, right? That's what we did in 6.2. So now we're going to factor those same types of trinomials that we factored in 6.4. So you could use that grouping method that we just did in 6.4 for all of these. Or for these, we're going to use a guess and check. Let me just say, guess and check is going to be hard at the beginning, but the more you do it, the better at it you get. So when I say guess and check, I literally mean I'm going to guess and then I'm going to check by foiling, okay? Now remember, you should always take out a GCF first. There's not going to be GCF until we get down to, it looks like J, so we're not going to worry about that. So since there are 3 terms, we're going to immediately set up a backwards FOIL. And again, we are going to guess and check. I'm going to give you some clues that help me when I guess and check that work most of the time. So I need to split up this 4x squared into 2 things that multiply together to get 4x squared. Well, it's either going to be 2x and 2x or 4x and 1x. I'm going to do 2x and 2x. I don't know that that's right. We'll have to wait and see. Now you want to split up the 5 into these 2 positions. Well, it's either going to be 5 and 1 or 1 and 5. And again, I'm literally just guessing right now. I'm going to try a 5 and a 1. So now I'm going to check. So if I FOIL these back out quickly, I get 4x squared. I knew that. Outside, you can see I get 2x. Inside, I get 10x. Can I get a 12 out of a 2x and a 10x? You bet your boots I can, if they're both positive. And I have just factored that polynomial by guessing and checking. Now, I may have made a mistake, and I may have put the 1 here and the 5 here. And if I did that, oh, actually, if I did it for this one, it wouldn't have mattered. We'll see when it matters as we keep going. All right, so here we go. Bada boom, put down our 2 sets of parentheses. 6x squared, we can break that up into 6x and 1x. I would always try 2x and 3x first. Always try the numbers that are closer together first. Like if I had a 6 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3. 2 and 3 are closer together than 6 and 1. Always try those first. Now, I love it when I end up with a 1 because there's only one way to split up a 1. It's got to be a 1 and a 1. So now that's my guess, so let's check. So I get 6x squared, then a 2x on the outside and a 3x. Can I get a 5 out of 2x and 3x? I can if they're both negative. And does it work? If I multiply these 2, do I get a positive 1? Absolutely. So something that might help you to kind of think of the signs. First of all, if all the signs are positive in your original polynomial, then you're going to have both positive signs in your binomials after you've factored. If the last sign is positive, another way to think about it is that means both signs have to be the same. They're whatever the first sign is. So since this last sign is positive, they both in here have to be negative. This sign is positive. Both of these have to be positive. Look at letter C. Since this is positive, they both have to be the same. They both have to be negative. So that might help you as well. So here we go. Let's split up 2x squared. Well, there's not a lot of choice. It's got to be 2x and 1x. That's the only thing it can be. Now I have to split up a 12. Well, how does 12 split up? It's got a couple of different ways. It can be 1 and 12. It can be 2 and 6, or it can be 3 and 4. Again, I would always try the numbers that are closer together first. So let's say I tried a 3 here and a 4 here. Well, let's FOIL it back out. There's my guess. Now I have to check. 2x squared. Outside, I get 8x. Inside, I get 3x. Can I get an 11 out of an 8 and a 3? You bet your boots I can. And don't forget, they both have to be negative. And there you go. Now, if you look at the signs for D, see how the last sign is negative? That means you have to have one of each. There has to be one positive and one negative. All right, so 35x squared I have to split up. Well, it's going to be 1 and 35. I wouldn't start with that. Or it's got to be 7x and 5x. Now again, 4 can be 1 and 4, or it can be 2 and 2. I would try the 2 and the 2 first. So put a 2 and a 2. So let's guess now. So I get 35x squared. Outside I get 14. Inside I get 10. Can I get a 4 out of a 14 and a 10? Yes. Since I need a positive 4, I need the 14 to be positive. So that means the positive goes here and the negative goes there. How you doing? Stop me at any point and try one on your own. We got a lot of examples to get through here, so we're going to end up doing 2 videos. All right, here we go. We're going to guess and check. So 3x squared's got to be 3x and 1x. There's no choice. Now I have to split up the 2. Now notice both of my signs have to be positive, so I can throw those in if I want. I have to split up the 2. Well, look, if I put a 2 here and a 1 here, and I check, I'm going to get 3x squared. Outside, I'm going to get 3x. Inside, I'm going to get 2x. Can I get a 7 out of a 3 and a 2? No, I guessed wrong. So I have to change the order and put the 1 here and the 2 here. Let's check that. So 3x squared. Outside, I get 6x. Inside, I get 1x. There you go. That's the 7x. So sometimes you guess wrong. All right, here we go again. Again, practice makes perfect. Well, actually, it never gets perfect. Sometimes you guess wrong. That's the way it is. So again, 12 can be 1 and 12. We can split it up into 2 and 6, or we can split it up into 3 and 4. I would always try the 3 and the 4 first. Well, the 1, I have no choice. It's got to be a 1 and a 1. And because this sign is positive, it means both of the signs are the same. Whatever the first sign is, they're both going to be negative. Does that give me, when I FOIL it out, my original polynomial? So 12y squared. Outside I get negative 3y. Inside I get negative 4y. Bam, there you go. If you haven't already, turn off the video and go ahead and do G, H, and I by yourself. At this point, you should be able to do those by yourself by guessing and checking, and then come back and rewatch the video. All right, so for G, again, here we go, 2 sets of parentheses. Well, 2x squared, it's got to be 2x and 1x. Now, because the last sign is negative, we're going to have one of each, so we don't know which one goes where, so we can't put those in. So 30, I can split up into 1 and 30. Probably not. 2 and 15, 3 and 10, 5 and 6. I'm going to try the 5 and the 6 first. Again, I always try the numbers that are closest together. So let's see if that works. I get a 2x squared, so outside I get a 12x, inside I get a 5x. Can I get a 7 out of a 12 and a 5? Absolutely. I can get a 7 from a positive 12 and a negative 5. There you go. H, put me down 2 sets of parentheses. So 2m squared will be 2m and 1m. 15, I can split up into 1 and 15 or 3 and 5. I'm going to try the 3 and the 5 first. So if I put the 3 here and the 5 here, I would get 2m squared. Outside, I would get 10m. Inside, I'd get 3m. I need a negative 1. Can I get a negative 1 out of a 10 and a 3? Absolutely not. So what that tells me is I need to change and put the 5 here and the 3 there. Now, outside I have 6, inside I have 5. I'm good. Now, since I need a -1m, that means it has to be -6 on the outside and +5 on the inside. For I, here we go. So we're going to have a 3x and a 1x. And again, 12 can be a lot of different things. It can be 1 and 12. It can be 2 and 6. It can be 3 and 4. Now, I'm telling you, just because I've had a billion years of practice, it's not going to be 3 and 4. I don't see it being 3 and 4 because we need this big number 16. I'm thinking it's going to be 6 and 2. If I put a 2 here and a 6 there, let's see if that works. Well, I need a -16, so I'm going to get 3x squared. Outside, I'm going to get 18x. See, I knew I needed like a 6 to kind of get this big number here. I'm going to get an 18x and a 2x. Can I get a -16 out of an 18 and a 2? Absolutely. It's got to be -18 on the outside and positive on the inside. So that's a situation where you may have tried the 3 and the 4 first and it didn't work. And then you would move on to the 2 and the 6. All right, I'm going to start a new video.